Okay, and I'm back. I cut rather sharply. For anyone that watches these, I've never really done this whole record and post thing before. I'm doing it with a headset that I've owned for a couple of years and just sort of throwing this out there to give it a go. So you'll probably notice that my mic levels weren't quite right. I'm still trying to get some things working, but I figured, hey, gotta start somewhere. This should be a bit better. Okay, so I cut the last one just after sort of finishing tutorial and choosing my avatar. Drops me here. Tells me I have this little quest here to basically play a game straight up. I'll get 250 credits for it. It's pretty sweet. There are a couple of things I wanted to run across before we go and delve into that. Um, First of all, in the deck section, you can see I got these 5 decks here. I also immediately have the ability to create a deck of my own. And quite a few of the cards that I had during this tutorial will be in here as well, along with a lot of other stuff. You can see there's tons and tons of stuff. Now this card searcher is actually pretty good. You can filter by color there, including by like special cards like land, and also the color stuff, which is like artifacts and things. To some people that would mean something, to some people it won't. You can also do this. This is basically a set of everything you can potentially unlock with your mythics. Quick explanation. These guys here, these are wild cards. Basically what you can do is you earn these in a couple of ways. It looks like you start with this set here, which is 8 common, 4 uncommon, 2 rare, and 1 mythic rare. You will earn them over time when you open packs in general, both uncommons and rare ones, I believe. You can always go down, is my understanding, so uncommons can be used to unlock common cards if you so choose. You'll also get them randomly in packs in place of actual cards. So commons, it's a 1 in 3 chance that any common is a wild card. There are 5 commons in a thing, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get a common wild card every time. Uncommons, of which there are 2. You have a 1 in 5 chance, so it's not going to happen every pack, but probably every 2 to 3. And then for the last swap, which is either a rare or any 1 in 30 chance a mythic rare, you have about a 1 in 24 chance of it being either a rare wildcard or a mythic rare wildcard, and those are even odds, so you can get either or at the same rate. The main purpose of these is you can go into any card, like say Blazing Hope here, and you can basically just go redeem and it will convert that wild card into this card. This is actually super helpful, especially in a game like this, because there's not really much of a trade economy. In fact, I don't think trading's in this at all. So if you need specific cards to flesh out your deck, your only option is to either keep opening packs and hoping you hit it, or you can spend these wild cards and pick them up that way. So that makes a huge difference in a game like this, because you are not stuck just with just random garbage. There are a few other important symbols in here. Legion's Landing is one. So there are some cards that do transform, such as this guy, so it will show you what it transforms into. You get the transformation card when you own the actual card. Stuff that's colored in, which is pretty standard in a lot of these games now, is stuff you have at least 1 copy of. It will show how many copies you have at the top. Unlike previous games, regardless of rarity, so let me see if I can just find a rare here. You can have 4 of any card. So, oh wow, so none of these decks have rares, and that's odd. So what this means is, I may have just broken my filter in some way. You can have 4 Drowned Catacombs. In previous games, they experimented with the idea that based on the rarity of the card, you could only have so many. So you could only have 1 mythic, 2 rares, 2 of the same rare, 3 of the same uncommon, or 4 of the same common. That's gone, because that's not standard Magic. They've gone back to standard Magic with this, so you can build a deck that's just tons of copies of the rare cards, if you want to put the time and effort into that. It's probably not going to be any good, because that's not how this works. like your commons and uncommons are often the glue that binds those cards together, and the rares and mythics tend to be much more like a deck's linchpin or very situational cards. But you can absolutely do that. Other filter options that are useful. You can sort by card type. We haven't seen a Planeswalker yet. Some people will be familiar with those. We also haven't seen an artifact yet. Mana cost and stuff as well. There are a couple of filters that aren't supported in here, and from reading the patch notes, you can search by basic text. So if I go soldier, I believe. No, wait, no. Soldier's probably not a thing. If I go cat. I think I'm in something. Hang on a second. Give me a second. There should be a way to... Collection's what I actually want. So if I go cat... Yeah. So this will give me everything that's a cat. Now it will match text anywhere on the card. So if I include stuff I don't own, there we go. So see, Leonin Vanguard, so it's got the type of cat, right? Which is good. Quasi-duplicate. Where is the word cat on this? Quasi-duplicate. Yeah, so it's in the name, quasi-duplicate. It's a partial text match. And it's the same thing, castle creature match. Yeah, here we go. So Ajani here, you see his name doesn't include the word cat. His text doesn't include the word cat, but one of his abilities does. So you can basically, if you want to build a deck around cats, you can literally just type cat in, and you'll be able to see every card that is a type of cat, every card that mentions cats in its description, and every card that has the word cat as part of its title. There are some other things you can do as well. I just can't remember how they work. You can sort by particular set, so if you're trying to build a purely Ravnica deck or a purely core set deck, you can do that. There is a special shorthand to do that at the moment, as there's not a fully supported button in the UI. They are working on it. Oh, that took me straight to the new deck screen. That's kind of cool. So if I came across something I was interested in. I don't know how I ended up back here.
Ready for your first lesson?
You can do that. A couple other things.
Go here when you're ready to play a game.
Let's talk about packs quickly. You don't start with any. These are the indicators. You start with, I've got partial credit on this. Now, I do not know if that partial credit has carried from closed beta or not. I have no way of checking that, but I'm pretty confident it hasn't. Okay, so you can see here it says 5 more packs into your next rare, 17 more packs into your next mythic rare. So I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I believe for every 3 of these, every third one of these will be a mythic rare. So you do get them. And you just get uncommons every 6 packs as well, which can be used for commons. So commons are actually the least likely to get, but because you get so many more commons in an actual booster, and they have a higher chance of being wildcard, that wouldn't be a problem either. So it's actually pretty fair. Store. Let's have a look at the pack cost. Okay, so every set has the same costing at the moment. That may change in future, but currently it's all even Stevens. Now, I will say now that they have said there will be no more account wipe from this point forward, so if you do choose to buy packs, you'll get to keep those cards even when they go into full release. That should not be an issue. Looking at the thing, using the in-game currency, your only option is 1 pack at a time, 1,000 coins. There is no converting coins to gems or anything like that at this stage. My understanding is you can earn gems from doing tournaments and things, so it is possible to get gems to do the other sets. Now, obviously, 1 pack for 1,000 coin. Now, this is the direct conversion rate as it stands because there's so little in the store. But all of these are the same ratio, and it is 1 pack for every 200 gems. So that means that 200 gems is equivalent to 1,000 coin at the moment. It's a 5 to 1. I've seen far, far, far worse. I've seen better, but far worse. The main thing though is this is literally the only thing you can buy with coins is single packs of boosters. There are no cosmetics, there are no fields, there are no avatars, nothing at this time. You cannot buy wild cards either. Full stop. That is impossible. But obviously, more packs you have to open, the more wild cards you'll just get as a consequence of those mechanics. Now, as for the actual gem cost, bearing in mind it's 200 a booster regardless of ratio. Okay, So it does get better as you go up this list. At a basic purchase, $5 will only get you just under 3 boosters. This will get you 100 boosters. So it's a booster $1 there. This is like a booster for 225, something like that. So the scale isn't that great anyway. But $1 a booster, I mean, in physical terms would be amazing, but in a digital card game, it's sort of meh. Whether that's better or worse than Hearthstone, I can't say. I just don't have enough experience playing games with cards and that to know how much a booster is actually worth in terms of replay. But that's what it is now. Now, I haven't checked, but I'm pretty confident that if you open... I haven't ever found anything solid, but I'm pretty confident that if you open a card in the booster that you already have 4 copies of, it will automatically become a wild card. So you can't end up with huge swaths of card that you can't use. There's no mechanic for dust or anything like that in this game. Wild cards are how you obtain singles. So progression doesn't rely on you having to dust stuff to get those cards that simply will not drop. You will eventually have everything if you just go through enough boosters and games. There is a starter pack as well at the moment, which gives you 5 packs at $1 a piece and 2,400 bonus gems, which is another 12 boosters. $5. If you are going to spend money on this game, I would start here. The core set is a pretty solid foundation for any deck. Core set contains a lot of long-running sort of signature cards from over the years that have sort of just become bread and butter pieces for all kinds of decks. It is absolutely worth it to get those boosters of specific stuff when you're not really sure what you're doing. On top of that, another 12 boosters of a set when you know what you actually want would be good, and it will also give you multiple wild cards, so you'll be able to do some stuff with that as well. So once you've had a bit of a think, absolutely worth it. I do not know if this is a limited time offer, so look into it. Now, I also have the ability to redeem a code from closed beta that will get me some Planeswalkers. I'm not going to do that just now, but I will do it soon, and I'll show those off. That's about it at the moment. Now, you may have noticed I haven't said a lot of things. You might be saying, well, where's the friends list? Where's your stats? All this sort of stuff. Currently, that's not in. There is very little social stuff you can use. However, if I play my first game, and I'm going to just do another cut now to start that up, we might get some more options that will reveal some of that stuff. So I'll be right back.